In the mid-2000s, Brad Coleman was a development driver for Joe Gibbs Racing. At just the age of 12, he was discovered at an indoor karting center in Houston by Le Mans champion Bryce Cobb. Then by the time he was just 16, he competed in the Rolex 24, driving a Porsche 911 GT3 and being a part of the youngest team in the race's history. He basically just raced in whatever he could. Not even 18 years old, and Brad Coleman already has an impressive motorsports resume. But now the next challenge was trying to become a star in NASCAR. In 2006, at 18 years old, he made 9 ARCA Series starts for Bruco Motorsports, scoring 8 top 5s, 3 poles, and a win at Kentucky Speedway. Right out the gate in stock cars, he was looking very impressive. The team also let him make 2 Busch Series starts that season at Nashville in Kansas.
First, the 66 of Brad Coleman. This is off of turn 4.
He didn't hit anything, so he's pretty much good to go. Just gets loose. He gets loose and he's saving it and saving it and saving it, and finally just got away from him. But he got loose and he slid up, then he got clobbered by Cleaver.
With an average finish of 35th place in 2 Busch Series starts, he definitely needed to take his time moving up the ladder. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. With extra backing coming from the Italian restaurant Carinos, Coleman was able to secure a seat as a part-time development driver for Joe Gibbs Racing. Even though it was only on a part-time basis, let's just say the hype was real. Dude's only running part-time, and the former governor of Texas, Rick Perry, declared that day in April Brad Coleman Day. In his select Busch Series starts, he did have some nice moments, one of those being scoring his first career pole at Talladega and leading the first 14 laps. The next was battling for the win at Kentucky Speedway in the closing laps, but falling short, finishing second. And of course, he excelled on most of the road courses he ran on, finishing 8th and 5th at both Watkins Glen and Montreal. But when he wasn't doing that, he was either running in the mid-pack or doing a whole lot of wrecking.
Back in Mexico City, caution is out for the 3rd time a day. After 61 laps are complete, the 18 car has spun off the course. Brad Coleman, the Martinsville, Virginia driver, has brought out caution, the Joe Gibbs Racing effort. Out of turn 4, oh, heavy one car sliding across and nowhere for Brent Sherman to go as the 18 car, that is the Joe Gibbs car.
How bad are we, Terry?
Oh, boy, that's unlucky,
looks like
dog.
you got the right rear pretty good.
Well, let's ride along and see what happened to the youngster up in turn 4 as he goes by the 28 car. And suddenly the bobble, and it's up against the wall, thus bringing out yellow for the 5th time today. Well, back at Gateway International, the latest young victim is another 19-year-old, Brad Coleman. Was involved in an incident just a moment ago, bringing out caution number 8. We'll show you what happened. Now watch the right side of your screen. Contact there. Brad Coleman goes around, almost gets the side of the 37. He does get Kelly Byers out of shape, and he spins, and we end up with caution number 8 on the night.
I tell you, it might have looked from everybody's view that the 37 car just drove in and run into those guys. I'm telling you, that's not what happened, though. J.J. Yaley and Brad Coleman got so slow from going up the track that their closure rate was so much, Andy, that he just couldn't get out of it that quick and got himself involved in it, too.
Well, you can see that Brad Coleman's had a problem, and it's called contact with the turn 1 wall. And also involved in this was Scott Lagacy. Let's just listen.
He lifted a little. He lifted a little more.
And Denny Hamlin is the leader. Shuffles all throughout the pack, including, whoa, the 5 car. And contact with the 18 of Brad Coleman.
Yeah, it just looks like that. He just got clipped right in the right rear quarter panel, sent him head on in the wall with Brad Coleman, and that's a tough deal, man, right off the bat.
There, hold your brakes.
In 17 starts, he posted 0 wins, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and only an average finish of 20th. After only 1 part-time season, he left Joe Gibbs Racing to drive full-time for Bruco Motorsports in 2008. He was still very young and considered by some to be a hot prospect, with some going as far to say he will be in the Cup Series very soon.
Oh, Brad Coleman, the 27 car. And that will bring out yellow for the 3rd time.
Bring it down.
Man, he hit that wall hard, too.
Damage on the right side of the Baker curb Ford. Show you what happened up in the turn there.
This is actually after the restart. See, right there is where he blew that tire.
Contact with a 9 car on the restart. There it was. You see the 9 car does a nice job of holding on. That's Chase Miller not spinning the car right in front of Wimmer.
Yeah, but Brad Coleman got some damage to that right front fender.
In 24 races, he posted just 2 top 10s and was 16th in points. The reason I'm saying 24 races is because that plan to run a full-time season with Bruco Motorsports was scrapped for what was thought of at the time as a big opportunity. In the summer of 2008, he signed with Cup Series team Hall of Fame Racing with plans of running a part-time schedule. His Cup Series debut took place at Michigan, where he finished 38th, 3 laps down. He was expected to drive for them full-time in 2009, but in January of that year, Hall of Fame Racing announced an alliance with the Yates Racing. So basically this meant the original Hall of Fame Racing team had closed its doors and laid off all of its employees, including the development contract of Brad Coleman. That one start at Michigan would end up being the only Cup Series start of his entire career. Instead of going Cup Series racing, Brad Coleman returned once again as a development driver for Joe Gibbs Racing from 2009 to 2010. He made a combined 14 starts in 2 seasons, scoring just 1 top 5 and 5 top 10s. At Road America, he was leading inside the final 10 laps, but was forced off the track on a late restart by Brad Keselowski.
Keselowski's in there.
Oh, boy, too far
he's really in there.
The leader bumped aside. Keselowski goes through into the #1 spot, but for how long as they go down the hill?
Well, I know Coleman lost some positions, but that was cool, keeping it on the track versus getting in those gravel traps. That'd have ruined his day.
His performances in those years mirrored his 2007 one, basically running up front every now and then and getting decent finishes, but for the most part was running in the midfield. But in his final season driving for them, he had 2 very bizarre incidents.
He tries to overtake the 16 at Colin Braun that gets a rear bumper bar jammed in his brake rotor and his left front tire, locks it up.
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Looks like he's got a spear stuck in that thing. And now look at this. Left front tire completely locked up because of the bar.
Has to drag the thing all the way back to pit road.
And then here are the 2 teammates, DiBenedetto losing it down in turn 1, and guess who the unlucky next car was?
Look who's coming by. I can only guess this one.
Oh, boy.
That's bad luck.
For all the hype that took place before he had even made a single start, the end result was only 1 start in the Cup Series. He never raced again in NASCAR after 2010, and today is just enjoying life and being a father. Looking back, moving up to the Busch Series immediately after just a few races in ARCA was a huge mistake. Perhaps a full season or 2 in ARCA would have paid dividends in the long run. His lackluster performance at times, combined with driving for one of the best teams in NASCAR, unfortunately makes him a NASCAR bust. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.